If Part 1 melted your memory with magic, Part 2 is here to twist your brain like a sugar rush on roller skates. We're diving deeper into those visually wild, mind-bending Saturday morning shows you somehow survived as a kid. Here comes Part 2 of 70s Saturday morning shows you won't believe you watched as a kid. And trust me, this batch is even more surreal. Kicking off our countdown at number 5, Dr. Shrinker. Imagine landing on a mysterious island only to get zapped by a mad scientist's shrink ray. Boom! You're now the size of an action figure and every raindrop is a tidal wave. That's Dr. Shrinker. 3 teens, Brad Fulton, BJ Masterson, and her brother Gordy Masterson, one deranged doctor in a lab coat, and a dwarf sidekick named Hugo, who laughs like a hyena with a sore throat. Dr. Shrinker even uses a chimpanzee named Boris to try and capture the teens. The sets? Think Dollhouse meets Jungle Gym. Oversized leaves, giant paper planes and pencils, and rodents the size of a freightliner. Every episode is a hide-and-seek marathon, with our mini-heroes evading gooey traps, thunderous footsteps, and a maniacal cackle echoing through the trees. This show felt like wandering through a funhouse where everything wanted to squash you, yet somehow it was spectacularly addictive. We tuned in for the madcap chase, the cheesy effects, and that unforgettable theme that sounded like a carnival organ possessed. It wasn't just a kids' show, it was a pint-sized adrenaline rush. A chrome-plated chaos machine from the minds of the 70s. At number 4, we've got The Lost Saucer. 2 androids from the year 2369, Phi and Fum, unintentionally whisk away a kid named Jerry and his babysitter Alice. Accompanying them on their adventures is Dorse, a creature with the body of a large, shaggy dog and the head of a small horse. From there, the time travel madness begins. The saucer malfunctions nonstop, sending them spiraling through time. They encounter bizarre worlds, such as a planet where everyone is identified by numbers instead of names, a society where being thin is outlawed, and a place where machines are forbidden due to a global energy crisis. One episode even featured a world where constant laughter was mandatory. Sure, the sets looked like a garage sale at a disco, but the show had brains. It tackled issues like conformity, technology overload, and identity, all hidden behind googly eyes, blinking lights, and fog machines. It was bizarre, bold, and weirdly insightful. The Lost Saucer might have looked like glitter-covered nonsense, but for 70s kids, it was unforgettable sci-fi gold. At number 3, we have the ultimate wilderness tag team no one asked for, but everyone secretly loved, Bigfoot and Wildboy. Deep in the misty forest of the Pacific Northwest, the legendary beast finds a young boy, lost and alone, and raises him as his own, teaching him the art of survival with a side of slow-motion action. Bigfoot, covered head to toe in what looked like a shag rug from someone's aunt's living room, grunts and growls his way through poachers, mad scientists, and the occasional alien. Wildboy, meanwhile, clad in wilderness leathers, parkours across logs and throws down like a nature-powered ninja. The action was primal, the fights were fog-drenched, and somehow it all felt real, thanks to those swirling mists and overdramatic forest brawls that could have doubled as deodorant commercials. It wasn't about gadgets or glitter. This was pure, mossy, back-to-nature weirdness, and kids couldn't get enough of it. It tapped into that secret fantasy of ditching school and becoming a wild legend. Strange? Definitely. But Bigfoot and Wildboy stomped its way into cult territory with barefoot confidence. The glitter-caped crime fighters who made superheroics look like a department store fashion shoot. At number 2, we have Electra Woman and Dyna Girl. Disguised as mild-mannered magazine reporters, Electra Woman and her plucky teen sidekick Dyna Girl swapped out notepads for Electrocoms, versatile wrist gadgets that could do everything from communicate and scan to perform high-tech tricks that bent the laws of physics, and also served a variety of other specialized functions, which allowed the duo to escape various traps devised by their enemies. Some of their capabilities included Electra Beam, Electra Force, and a lot more. They cruised in style with the Electra car, a shield-shaped, 3-wheeled ride that could suddenly lift off as the Electroplane. Even the mood lighting was on point, ensuring the vibe was always just right. Their Electra base was basically a high-tech lair with sliding doors, glowing panels, and a pure 70s design flair. And the villains? Oh, they didn't hold back. Crooks with names like Glitter Rock, the Empress of Evil, and Spider Lady served camp harder than a talent show in space. Everything sparkled, except the budget. But that didn't matter. Electra Woman and Dyna Girl didn't just save the day. They did it in flashy superhero boots, while reminding every kid that style and science could coexist. Finally, the crown jewel of creativity, where dinosaurs, time portals, and lizard men shared the same strange world. At number 1, we have Land of the Lost. One family on a routine river trip is struck by the greatest earthquake ever known. plunging them through a time vortex and landing them in a pocket universe full of stop-motion dinos, mysterious pylons, and the creepiest reptilian species ever put on children's television, the Sleestaks. Those looming shapes, eerie hissing, and unblinking stares still haunt childhoods. The effects were charmingly rough. The science was pure nonsense, and the pacing? Let's call it prehistorically slow. But none of that mattered. The world building was bold, bizarre, and way ahead of its time. Alternate dimensions, ancient tech, and emotional stakes. It hit harder than you'd expect for a Saturday morning. Land of the Lost wasn't just a kids' show. It was a straight-up fever dream wrapped in jungle vines and existential dread. The budget was low, but the ambition was sky-high. And that's why it roars into our top spot. And that wraps up part 2 of the strangest Saturday morning shows ever aired. But the madness isn't over. Part 3 is coming soon. Subscribe to Soda Next so you don't miss what's next.